Okay, so while the kids are at specials, I'm going to make this video showing you how to do the array model for division and the area model for division. So first we're going to start with a problem like 64 divided by 3. Now on the homework that's coming home tonight, you'll see that there are these grids. For the sake of time, I'm not going to shade all of these in accuracy, but you know it's going to look like the little pieces of graph paper right here. So what we do is we're working with area and array models because that's what we did for multiplication. So since division is the opposite of multiplication, we should be able to apply some of the same concepts. What this is getting kids to do is recognize that there are multiple factors that create numbers. So right here we have 64 divided by 3, where 64 is our dividend and 3 is our divisor. So when we're working with the one that looks like grid paper, what we're going to do is we are going to start by figuring out how we can make 64 into an array, but we have to do it in groups of 3. So I'm going to put my 3 out here. My divisor always goes on the left, and I'm going to shade down 3 groups. Okay? So now I'm thinking in my head, just like I did with the partial products that we learned, what factors, what friendly numbers can I multiply 3 by to get me close to 60 without having to sit and count out 64 different boxes? So what I'm going to do is I know that 3 times 20 is 60. That's close to 64 without going over. It is a friendly number. They won't always be this close. Sometimes they'll be off by 12 or by 13, and I know that right here we're only off by 4, but we're stressing friendly numbers. So 3 times 20 gives me 60, and that is a friendly number. So I'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Now for the sake of time, obviously I haven't shaded all of these boxes, but it's gonna look something like this, right? With all of my 3s, just like this. I'm gonna shade, and then in the box itself, I'm gonna write 60. Because this is really 60 little boxes of my total of 64. Okay, so then the kids know that they grab another color, and here we're at 60, but we're not finished because we're trying to get all the way to 64. So they draw a line and ask themselves, how many more groups of 3 can I fit into 64 without going over? Well, I know that one more group of 3 gives me 63. So I added one more group of 3. This gives me 3 for a total of 63. Now if I add a whole nother group of 3, then that's going to be too many. So since I'm at 63 and trying to get to 64, then I shade 1 down here for my remainder. Okay, so this is my remainder. And my answer, my quotient, is actually up here. It's 20 plus 1. If they were to do this in the area model, then all it's going to be, it's much simpler. We didn't really get a lot of time to focus on this today, but I wanted you to see it. They're just given the box, and instead of shading all of this madness in, they just think it through. So they know that they have 64 and they're trying to divide it into groups of 3. So they're going to do the same thing. They know that 3 times 20 is 60. It doesn't have to be equal, like I said. And then they're still trying to get to 63, or they're trying to get to 64, I'm sorry. But in groups of 3, they can only get to 63. So they can add one more group. 1 times 3 is 3. That gives them 63. But they need to add plus 1 to get to 64. So this is their remainder. And the answer, the quotient, is 21 remainder 1. They add their top numbers, and this is their remainder.